be embarrassed if I had a car stuff. You both are making a statement tonight. Look, it looks beautiful, I gotta be honest with you. You two are definitely a lot of fun. Okay. I like you guys. You guys like good comedy, we like good crowds, right? Right, good crowd. Good positive energy, you guys. Smiling, facing the stage. Seem to have a good time, open-minded, all that, right? And respectful of one another. All right. That being said, you know your headliner is awesome, but he brought a feature act with him, touring with him, and has been a writer on some of his great shows like Adam Ruins Everything, like The G Word on Netflix. Big round of applause. Let's welcome to the stage Brian Franchi. Give it up for Brian.
Oh, hello. Oh, wow. Everyone's up top. This is good. Was I yelling just then? Am I yelling? All right, I'll stop yelling. How's inflation treating you guys? Inflation good? You like? Oh, this economy's rough. I went to the strip club last night, and Mercedes changed her name to Kia Sorrento. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? You want to hear a secret? I wrote that joke in 2009. That's how shitty the economy's been. I didn't want that joke to work for 15 years. I didn't even want the Kia Sorrento to be around for 15 years, if I'm honest. It was a tweet. Do you remember when Twitter was just for fun? Not anymore. Everybody's just angry now. Last week I was walking around and this old woman said I look like a bitch. I was buying soup. I don't know if that's... I was buying soup, but it was chicken noodle soup, by the way. You know, it's not bitch soup. You know, maybe if I came out there with split pea, but also, by the way, I came out of the store holding the soup bag like this, going, soup, soup, soup. Soup, soup, soup. And this old crone just manifested out of nowhere, and she goes, you look like a bitch. And then I stood there and did nothing. And I was like, how did you know? Yeah, I guess I just have that grew up in the suburbs stank on me, you know? And you got no street cred when you grew up in a cul-de-sac. Yeah, things get tough around here. You know, one time we had to move the basketball hoop into the driveway during Jacob's bar mitzvah party. So that's what life like out here on the streets. The only time I ever got into a fight was in summer camp, which is the least tough place to get into a fight. Okay, when I was a little boy, I was a little chubby, and I had a mushroom cut, and I wore glasses, and I played the trumpet. And this kid came up to me and called me Miles Gavis. Yeah. All right, whose side are you on, okay? He said that, called me, and I said, who you calling Miles Gavis? And he said, you fat boy. And then I backhand slapped him across the chest and went, Ric Flair, woo! If you don't know, Ric Flair is a 1,000-year-old wrestler wearing a Speedo whose signature move was to backhand slap people across the chest and then say his own name. And on television, it looks like a devastating move. But in real life, it is a death wish. I went, Ric Flair, woo! And he immediately put me in a headlock. And then he went, my stepdad, woo! Yeah, and then it got real sad. And then we spent the rest of the day talking to a licensed therapist. The point of the story is, on the outside, we may all feel like chicken noodle soup, but on the inside, we're all just cream of broccoli, really. Aren't we? We're all just cream of broccoli. It is tough, though, out in the streets these days. Everybody's mad at everything. Like my uncle was yelling about what bathrooms people can go into, which I think is so stupid. I think all bathrooms have always been unisex. Okay, just look at the signs. You got the sign for the man is just a man, and then the woman has a dress on. But like, that's obviously the same guy. Yeah. All right. It's like, yeah, we can tell it's you, Carl. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You have no neck at all. Your head is just floating off your body. And just do whatever you want. No, I feel like the country's going to shit. It's so divided, and all we have to fight it are thoughts and prayers. It's pretty sad. I can understand prayers, like those can be comforting sometimes. But thoughts? How did thoughts get elevated to prayer status? Like, I don't want people's thoughts. Most people are stupid. Like, look around this room right now. I guarantee there's at least probably 20 people in here who are dumb as shit. Without a doubt. I don't want your thoughts in a time of crisis. I don't want my own thoughts half the time. And sometimes people don't give you their thoughts. Sometimes people keep you in their thoughts. Just like, don't fucking keep me in there, no. It's like, yeah, I'll keep you in my thoughts, right between my existential dread and my theories about Hunter Biden's laptop. It's like, oh God, I don't know which way to look. No, it's just, it's rough. We're stupid now, people are stupid, and we've always been stupid. It's not like this is a special time. Like, you guys know the saying, I'm just blowing smoke up your ass? Does anyone know where that saying came from? No? Well, this is an Adam Conover show, so you're gonna learn something. That's right. I'm just blowing smoke up your ass came from the 1800s. Medical doctors used to think that they could resuscitate drowning victims by blowing tobacco smoke up people's asses. Yes. And they had a machine for it. It's not like there was just some guy with a pipe. You know, like spread his cheeks.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll get it.
I don't know why I made you the ass there. I'll do it to someone else next time. Medical doctors used to try to resuscitate drowning victims by blowing tobacco smoke up their asses. And they did this from 1850 until 1910, and it never worked. But they tried it for 60 years, and they're like, okay, this definitely doesn't work. I mean, what are we doing? You can't breathe up your ass. What were they doing? I mean, that'd be like if you went to the doctor and you broke your arm, and they were like, why don't you take this sledgehammer and shove it up your ass? Maybe that'll help. Tobacco smoke? Like, what were they? They were like probably like blowing the smoke. It's not working. He's not breathing. Soon I'm gonna have to do mouth to ass resuscitation on this person. Did you like the act out? Mouth to ass. Let's see, what's my next joke? Oh, our health insurance. It's still shit. It's still shit now. Our healthcare sucks. I know it sucks because anytime it works, people say they were lucky. Yeah. Yeah, you guys know? Up top, you know? That's what, like my cousin, he broke his arm. He's like, Brian, I broke my arm. Luckily, my health insurance covered it. Just like, you don't have to be lucky to get something you paid for. Like, you wouldn't go to the deli and be like, listen, I gave the deli $7. Luckily, they gave me a sandwich. But sometimes they deny you for pre-existing hams. No, but really it's more like, I went to the deli, I gave them $7, and they're like, before we give you a sandwich, you need to buy $1,000 worth of sandwiches. And then you pay $1,000 worth of sandwiches, and they go, okay, here's your bread. And it's like, but I ordered a sandwich. And they go, oh no, the meats and cheeses are out of pocket. And it's like, I don't have any meats and cheeses in my pocket. It's like, well, you can't even buy sandwiches at this deli. If you want meats and cheeses, you have to go to a different deli 50 miles away by the airport, and all they have is olive loaf. And then you say, you know what, fuck it, I'll just starve to death. But then you go home, and then 2 weeks later, you get a bill for $50,000 just for talking to the deli man. And then your friend is like, yeah, I know, the system's messed up here, but I heard a guy in Canada had to wait 40 minutes for a tuna melt. And it's like, that doesn't sound that bad. Doesn't sound that bad. Yeah, okay, that you guys didn't follow that analogy as well as I thought you might. No, people are stupid. People are also disgusting. I feel like everybody's disgusting. We all have shit in us, almost constantly. Human shit. Like, we're all just little shit factories. Look how close you guys are to each other right now. Do you know how close you are sitting to human shit right now. And humans are the worst. Humans are the most disgusting. That's why if you ever go to the deli, you remember the deli, the whole deli I was talking about? That's why if you go to the deli and you buy like a ham sandwich, if there's a hair in the sandwich, you go, oh, a human hair. Here I was trying to eat my pig's ass sandwich, and there's a human hair in it, the most vile of God's creatures. Take back my sliced up pig's ass and put on gloves before you touch it. No, we'll eat a pig ass, we'll eat a cow ass, we'll eat a fish ass raw, but we won't eat human meat. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna, I'm just kidding. No, this isn't a rally. Don't worry, although it would be cool if somebody stood up and was like, yeah! Then we can, have a meetup group or something. But not all people are disgusting. I'm getting married in 3 weeks, actually. I'm getting married in 3 weeks. Yeah, thank you. A lot of us do it. I don't know if it's worthy of applause, but I am getting married. Me and my future wife are in a little bit of a disagreement because I don't want to wear a wedding ring. Okay? I'm afraid of the ring, not the movie, the actual thing. I'm not afraid of the Ring movie anymore. I was when I was a little kid. Okay, that movie was scary as fuck. You put the tape in, you get a phone call, 7 days, the demon crawls out of the TV and kills you. That's scary. But I'm not scared anymore because I don't own a VHS player, so. In fact, I don't know anyone who owns a VHS player. I think that demon fucked up. She put a lot of stock in a technology that went obsolete in 2003. What she should do is put that tape on YouTube, but then she needs an account, and it's not scary if you can send your demon an email, Anyway, I'm getting married in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I don't want to wear the ring, okay? Because I'm scared that my finger will get ripped off in a barn door. Why'd you point to me? Oh, no ring! Oh, yeah, so are you mad? No, yeah. Oh, shit! As long as she's got the diamond, she doesn't care. That's what she said. Damn! Well, you gotta get your stuff. At least he has his ring finger. You know whose finger got ripped off in a barn door? Dale Carnegie. Remember him? His finger got ripped off in a barn door because he wore a ring. Now you know that about Dale Carnegie. But I agree with you, there is a thing called safe rings with a Z. They're silicone rings, you tried them. Fuck those things, I'm not wearing a ring. Yeah, so I don't want to wear the ring, and my wife's like, but then how will people know if you're married? And I was like, you have some, I want to know what you're going to say. What are you going to I'll tell them, he says. You know what? You don't have to tell them. All you have to do is look at the person. You can tell when someone's married. They just have the cloud of marriage over them. People will know if you're married. Things change. Like, look at me. I'm wearing running shoes on stage. I wasn't wearing running shoes when I was trying to fuck, okay? Ladies, if you want to know if someone's married, don't look at the ring, look at the shoes. Like, if they've got New Balance on, they're probably a father, okay? That's what it is. And I think calling this the ring finger is presumptuous anyway. Like, I've never put a ring on this finger, and yet it's called the ring finger? What kind of gaslighting bullshit is that? Even if I put rings on all the other fingers, this is still the ring finger. That's not right. I don't think it's normal to call it the ring, and I feel bad for the ring finger. It doesn't have a meaning. Like, this means thumbs up, this means number one, this means fuck you, this means fuck you in China, if you didn't know that. This means nothing. It means why do we leave that out? You know what it should mean? It should mean down to fuck. That's what it should mean. How many times have you been on a date and you're like, I don't know if this is going well, and then you're like, and they can go. No. And also, the ring finger, out of the top 4 fingers, is the only one that doesn't get to participate in the shocker. It's like the other 3 guys are like, we're trying to get laid. We can't have a married dude in the fucking... They have the thumb hold it down, the old ball and chain. No, include the ring finger. 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, and then you can tickle the grundle or whatever. Do something. It's totally fine. People say that, I'm a curmudgeon a little bit. I was called a curmudgeon at a volunteer event. I was taking a group photo and I didn't smile enough, I guess. Then the volunteer person said, "You're a curmudgeon." And I just don't like group photos. They don't make sense to me. They're not natural. Like 6 people in a line smiling. Take the photo out, take the camera out of the equation. Imagine you walked into the grocery store and you just saw 6 people in a line smiling. You would think it was a hostage situation. And that's what a group photo is. It's just a hostage situation, except instead of a gun, it's a camera, and the person's like, "All right, everyone, stand in a line and stand still. You in the back, get in the front, and get on your knees. Say cheese." They make you say cheese. I never say cheese. No, because they don't say cheese in every other country. Americans, we just go around the world yelling cheese at people's monuments. The Great Wall of China, cheese! The Pyramids of Giza, cheese! And the Egyptians are like, "These Americans are so fat. They can't even take a picture without demanding cheeses." No, I don't smile in photos. That's why I like photos from the 1800s. Okay, you ever see those photos? Because in those photos, no one's smiling. You see them just black and white, standing there solemn like they're already ghosts. No one smiled in photos in the 1800s because back then, no one expected you to be happy. Yeah, they were like, "Your kids were eaten by a wolverine, your crops are stricken with blight. Are you smiling? She's a witch!" No, they understood something that we don't understand today, which is that it's not natural to be happy. That's why when a baby is born, the very first thing they do is cry. They come out of the womb, they take one look at this place, and they go, "Life's a fucking nightmare. Wah!" Do you know how creepy it would be if a baby came out of the womb smiling? Just like a fucking Teletubby, just wah, la la. You wouldn't let that thing sleep in your house. I'm pretty sure Lala's gonna eat our souls tonight. Yeah. Teletubbies are creepy as fuck. Lala looks like a banana Voldemort. And what is tubby custard, by the way? Okay, what is it? Makes that weird noise. I'm pro-curmudgeon, though. I am pro-curmudgeon. Like my friend, he wanted to go skydiving the other day. He asked me, "You want to go skydiving?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Come on, man, you only live once." And I was like, "That's exactly why I don't want to go skydiving." He's like, "Whatever, you do you, but I live each day like it's my last." And I was like, "No, you don't. Have you ever been to a hospital? When someone's on their last day, they're just lying in bed too tired to move, which is exactly what I was doing when you asked me to go skydiving. People who are living each day like their last? Depressed people. We're the ones doing it right. It's called a death bed, not a death hang glider. I'm pro-curmudgeon, though. I'm pro-Scrooge. Scrooge, the most famous of all curmudgeons. He got a bad rap. We did Scrooge dirty, all right? He's a grumpy guy. He doesn't have the Christmas spirit, whatever, and the whole town is like, "We hate this guy. He's a grump." And it's like, give this guy a break, okay? His sister died, his business partner died, his wife left him, and all he wants to do is stay at home and be left alone during a very triggering holiday. And then what happens? Ghosts. Fucking ghosts show up, and they're like, "You're a piece of shit, Scrooge. I'm gonna show you your wife getting plowed by a new guy, Scrooge." There she is getting Scrooged. And then Scrooge wakes up the next morning and he's like, "I'm happy now." It's like, what? And the whole town is like, "Oh, Scrooge turned over a new leaf. He's got the Christmas spirit." It's like, no, he didn't. Scrooge had a psychotic break from reality. If you woke up Christmas morning and you saw your elderly neighbor running through the street in pajamas going, "I'm happy now, the ghost changed my mind," what would you do? I mean, you wouldn't invite him over for dinner. No, you'd lock the door and you'd watch him on the evening news. There's only one curmudgeon we did worse than Scrooge, and that is the Grinch. No, we treated the Grinch bad, okay? All the Who's in Whoville hate the Grinch. And it's like, here's a guy, he lives in a cave by himself. He's got a heart condition, okay? He's obviously late stage, he's like gangrene or jaundice or something. And all the Who's in Whoville are like, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You have garlic on your soul. Which, by the way, is like the most sociopathic thing I've ever heard. Garlic on your soul? What are you, his ex-wife or something? And they go, I wouldn't touch that thing with a 39.5-foot pole. And it's like, first of all, who touches people with poles, okay? You're the weird one going around touching, and a 39.5-foot pole? Is that a flagpole? Are you telling me you're cutting down a flagpole just so you can get this hospice patient not the joy of human touch? So can you blame the Grinch when after being treated like that, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna rob these fucking people. I don't blame him. All right, thank you very much, everybody. I'm Brian Franchi.
Yes, keep it going for Brian Franchi right there. Give Brian a big round of applause. Yes. That's funny. Yeah. For those of you on Instagram, on there, if it's Brian with an I and it's Frange, you want to give him a follow. You can wish him congratulations. He told you he's getting married. One more time for Brian. Friends, wish him good luck, huh? All the best. Brian Ritchie, Brian Frangie, Brian with the fucking dumb questions. All right, it's like Brian night. It's not Brian night. You know what? It's Adam night. Your headliner's ready for you. By round of applause. What's up, Tempe? You ready for your headliner? Can we keep that applause going as I introduce him to the stage? You down there? Yeah, give me. All right. Welcome to the stage. Where do I begin? You guys know and love him from so much. Adam ruins everything. G-Word on Netflix. His podcast, Factually. We got him for you live. Keep it going. For Adam Conover. Hello, everybody. Yeah.
How we doing, Tempe? You guys doing good? One more time for Brian and Brian. Weren't they wonderful? My two buddies over there. Love being here in Phoenix, in Tempe. I'm sorry, are they different cities or the same place? Don't tell me. I don't want to know, all right? I like to be disrespectful of cities that I visit, frankly. It's what I have fun with as a comic, you know? Like, I did comedy a little while ago in Louisville, Kentucky, and I pronounced it Louisville, Kentucky, and they were very mad at me. People who've been there probably know, you understand, because I got yelled at. They're like, no, you can't pronounce it Louisville. That's not how we say it. You got to say it how we say it, and we say it like this: Louisville. Louisville. You gotta like swallow a toad when you eat it, when you say it. But I was like, that's not how you have to say it. That's just your bullshit accents, you know? Like, I'm from New York, but I don't tell people, no, you can't say New York. You gotta say New York. Ah! All right. I really do love it here. I did my favorite thing today that I do every time I'm on the road. I got high and walked around. Really great. Great activity. This is what you should do wherever you are. Because I was here, it was like 98 degrees out. I got baked and I got baked, you know? It was pretty fucking awesome. I read every plaque in Phoenix, okay? I'm a plaque reader. Do you guys know the name of the founder of your historic flour mill? Because I do. His name was Charles Hayden and he died in 1900, all right? You just learned something about the place you live. You're welcome. Wonderful. Really, thank you for giving me the attention. Like, this is what I come here to do, is to get attention for you guys, and for making the sound that I want you to make, you know. That was good. That's applause. That's applause, but the sound that really rates me is laughter, right? That's like my entire job depends on making you make this particular sound, which is weird. It's the only art form where like that's my entire job is to make you make a sound, and if I don't make you make it, you're pissed off at the end of the show. Like, I didn't make the sound I like. He was a bad comedian. But here's the fucked up part. If you want to make this sound so bad, you could do it whenever you want. You could be sitting at home in your apartment and just let one loose. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Right? But no, you don't want to do that. Instead, you want to come here and make me make you make the sound. Right? Because that doesn't feel as good to you, does it? That's masturbation. This is sex. Feels better when someone else makes it happen for you, right? That's what we're going to do here tonight. Yeah, we're going to do it all night long. It's going to be great. I love doing comedy. I love traveling around, going to different cities. Flying is obviously the worst part, so when I'm on the flight, I try to like dissociate, try to pretend I'm anywhere else, I got my Nintendo Switch, I'm using the Wi-Fi on the plane, right? But a couple months ago, I was on this flight where my Switch was out of batteries, and the power outlet on the plane wasn't working, and the Wi-Fi was broken, and so I just had to sit there and fucking experience air travel. It's like the worst form of mindfulness meditation ever. Just listen to every in-flight announcement, Read all of the credit card offers, really. Fucking sucked. But because this happened to me, I noticed something incredible I never would have experienced if not for this, okay? I was sitting in, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I was sitting in the aisle seat. In the middle seat and the window seat were two older white dudes, two retired golf dads, okay? But they were not traveling together. They were strangers to each other. And I realized this when literally 30 seconds after the plane takes off, I hear the guy in the middle seat turn to the guy in the window seat. He looks him up and down, and he goes, "Excuse me, you have very large hands. Have you ever played basketball?" And the guy in the window seat goes, "Why, yes, I played for Wake Forest in 1972. And then these two adult, retired men proceeded to have, starting from zero, a conversation that lasted the entire 5-hour flight. I had never seen anything before like it in my life. Like, well, where'd you grow up? Peoria, Illinois. Sounds nice. Tell me about it. I was like, who the fuck are these guys? I'm watching two adult men make friends with a stranger on an airplane? What universe is this? Halfway through, I'm like, I gotta get a better look at these guys. I lean over and I try to get a better look at the guy in the window seat. I realize the entire time he's been cradling in his lap a sleeping corgi puppy. I know, it was so cute, yet somehow that never came up in the conversation. No, they discussed everything else under the sun. Their hopes, their fears, their philosophies about life after death. Then the plane landed. The guy in the middle seat stands up, goes, "Well, Ted, it was nice talking to you." Grabs his bag and leaves the plane forever. And I was like, no! You must go with him! This is your person, It's amazing what you'll notice if you can actually pay attention to the world around you, But it's hard. It's hard to pay attention now, isn't it? Like, I don't know about you guys. Lately, in the last couple of years, my attention span has like shrunk down to like a tiny little peanut. I can't focus on anything. Like after a long day of Zoom meetings, my girlfriend would be like, "Hey, why don't we chill out and watch a movie tonight?" And I'll be like, 119 minutes? I don't know if I can make it. Could we take a break halfway through to watch TikToks? I hit pause and sneak away to the bathroom. Oh, yeah. Oh, these are just 30 seconds long. Oh, and each one comes with its own little song. That helps me focus. Honestly, I think the Zoom meetings are the problem. Now that we have to be on Zoom all day, at least that's still my life, like, it's impossible to pay attention during a Zoom meeting, isn't it? How am I supposed to pay attention when there's a tiny, real-time image of myself on the screen? Oh, good, just a little mirror to obsess over. Great. You know, my coworkers are like, yo, Adam, are you with us? I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I was just distracted by the fact that every day I look more and more like my father. Took me out of the meeting a little bit, you know? It's gotten so bad. This is true. It's a little embarrassing. I've actually found myself zoning out during sex. Has this ever happened to you? Like, me and my girlfriend are, you know, we're going at it, trying to make it happen, you know? And my mind starts wandering. And she's like, hey, what's going on? You've been rubbing the same spot for like 20 minutes. And it wasn't the spot you're supposed to rub for 20 minutes. Okay, what was going on? I tried to make eye contact with you to establish a connection, but you were staring off with glassy eyes like you were remembering the war. But I wasn't remembering the war, I was just thinking about an email I was worried about, you know? Pretty embarrassing stuff. I think everybody has this problem. I think our attention spans are so short as a society that there's entire forms of media that don't even make sense with our modern brains. Like, let's talk about baseball. Could we just admit to ourselves that baseball has no place in modern society? You go to a baseball game. Yeah, sure. Give it up for hating baseball, sure. I mean, I love it, but when I go to a baseball game, it's like going to a museum of how people used to enjoy themselves in the past. Like, oh, wow, they were really bored back then. That's cool. I mean, baseball was invented for people whose only other form of entertainment was rolling a hoop with a stick. And then baseball was invented, and they were like, wow, what a thrill. But today, nobody can focus on a baseball game. No one's got the attention span. Go to any baseball game and watch how people react when they get more baseball than they expected. When the game goes into extra innings, nobody is happy. They're like, God damn it, I've already been here for 4 hours. More baseball per dollar. Could anything be worse? If you want proof people can't focus on baseball, watch how people react to the game itself versus to the kiss cam they put on between the innings. It's the only time everybody's paying attention. They all start screaming at the screen, yeah, kiss, kiss, woo, we did it, we got a kiss. Then the game comes back, everybody goes right back to their phones. What's going on? This is the 4th inning? Yeah, let's get out of here. I want to beat traffic, you know. Look, I love the kiss cam, all right? I think it's a wonderful institution. I do have one problem with it, though. I feel that it is too heteronormative, correct? 4 of you know what that means. It's okay, I'll break it down, don't worry about it. They only ever put men and women on the kiss cam. They never put same-sex couples on the kiss cam, right?
Oh.
They never do it. Why is that? I think it's because they're cowards, and they're worried, oh, what if we guessed wrong? And it wasn't really a gay couple, it was just 2 well-dressed men hanging out. You know, they work in fashion and they're having fun, you know. They don't want to kiss and everyone's embarrassed, you know. I say, you know what, there's a very simple solution to this, all right? Let's just institute a completely fair kiss cam. Let's just point the camera at random duos in the audience. I don't give a shit if these people even came to the game together, okay? Man, woman, man, security guard, I don't care. Let's just point the camera at them and then let social pressure take its course. I see if we can make a kiss happen, you know? Because hey, then best case scenario, you know, people enjoy a baseball game and they learn something about themselves. Like, hey, not for nothing, the Dodgers won the game and I learned I enjoy Frenching Carl, so it's a good day at Dodger Stadium for me. That guy's a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. I'm not gonna, it's the only accent I'm gonna do. My own people. I don't, man, I love Brian's New York accent, by the way. Do you feel that? Like, I grew up in New York, so every time I hear an accent like that, I'm just like sucked like a magnet towards him. Tell me stories of bodegas and pizza, you know. I've never been able to focus on anything my entire life. Even as a little kid, I was such a spaz. I was the kind of kid I'd like jump up and run around and yell and scream, you know. You ever see a kid who has so much energy, it makes you reconsider child labor laws? People were like, wow, I think it would be better for him if he worked in a coal mine. this kid's got energy to burn, you know? And here's the thing, I actually have no sympathy when I see a kid like that. If I see a kid today who reminds me of myself, I'm like, somebody put that fucking kid in a cage right now. And you know what? Let's buy condoms on the way home. I can't have any more of this running around inflicting this on other people, you know? Adults, when I was a kid, really couldn't handle me. My dad was this like super work-obsessed type A college professor. He was constantly thinking about work. He did this weird thing where when you talked to him, if you said words to him, he would just like take 30 seconds to process them like he was a web browser with too many tabs open. You'd be like, hey Dad, I got an A in school, and he'd just be like buffering, you know. Oh, what? Oh, good job, you know. But because he was just like replying to emails in his head, you know. Like he had this mantra that he would repeat to himself. He would repeat it to me too. He used to sit me down and he would say, Adam, you just need to focus on your objective. Focus on your objective. And I was like, Dad, I'm 8 years old. My objective is spinning in circles and screaming the lyrics to Hotel California. I was a weird kid, okay? I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did anything I did. When I was a kid, I used to bite the feet off my sister's Barbie dolls. I don't know why I did it. I just knew I loved doing it and she hated it. You guys know, you remember what was inside the feet of a Barbie doll back then? It was a sharpened metal spike. Yeah, yet another unachievable beauty standard. Can you believe it? Incredible. I was such an orally fixated kid. I got sent home from school one day for biting the other kids. Yeah, my mom was like, why on earth were you biting the other kids? And I didn't know, because I didn't know why I did the things I did. So what I said was, I shouldn't have said this, but what I said was, they were delicious. Mom, have you tasted Brian F? Oh, the baby fat, so tender. My parents were like, what the fuck is the matter with our kid? And they brought me, this is true, my parents brought me at age 8 to a children's psychiatric research hospital to find out what was the matter with me. And the scientists there put me through a whole bunch of tests, and specifically, they tested me for what was then a brand new condition called attention deficit disorder. Oh, okay, we got some fellow sufferers in the crowd. Could have guessed. Well, I'll have you know, all right, this is the early 90s. I was on the cutting fucking edge, okay? Nobody had this shit yet. I was an ADD OG, okay? Here's how they tested you for ADD in the early 90s, okay? A scientist in a white lab coat brought me into an all-white room, and in the room there were 2 tables set up. One of the tables had a test on it, just like a little busy work bullshit, like match the letter to the number test. The other table, though, was piled to the sky with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures. Oh my God, they had everything. They had a Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, Shredder, Splinter, Rocksteady, Bebop, the Pizza Wagon. They had you guys remember? It was a little plastic van that shot little plastic pizzas. It was like $100. Even Brian F. didn't have that shit, okay? What excitable little 8-year-old boy could resist? And then the back wall of the room was a wall-length mirror stretching from one side to the other. Now, you guys can guess what that mirror is for, right? You're adults. You can probably figure out how this whole test is supposed to work. It's pretty obvious. I was a little kid. I was 8. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, hey, what's up with the weird mirror? The scientist was like, don't worry about the mirror. The mirror is not for you. The toys are not for you. All you need to do is sit here, sit still, and do the test. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And he leaves and shuts the door behind him, leaving me all alone in the testing chamber. So I'm a little kid, I don't know what's going on. I sit there, start doing the test. 30 seconds into it, I get a little bored. My fingers start itching. I pop up, I run over to those toys. Nah, I'm more curious about this mirror. I walk up to it, I point directly at my own reflection, And to this day, I have no idea why I did this, but I know that I did it. I pointed at my reflection and I said, I can see you. Then I went back to the table and finished the test. 5 minutes later, the scientist came back in looking super freaked out. He was like, how did he see us? Does this kid have ADD or ESP? What the fuck? Thank you. They diagnosed me with a very strong case of ADD. Now you'll notice, by the way, I don't say ADHD, right? That's because this is the early 90s. The H hadn't been introduced yet. I still don't identify with the H, all right?
Me neither.
ADD till I die. Thank you. Thank you. If you got the H, get the fuck out of here, okay? No, please stay and order some more WGA cocktails. Anybody drinking the WGA cocktail? Oh, we got a couple. Thank you for your solidarity. I appreciate it. It's the name of my union, by the way. We are on strike right now. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yes. Yes. I figured I should write a joke about being on strike, but I'm on strike, so I didn't. So, fuck you, David Zaslav, I guess, you know. That actually, you're thinking that actually was a joke, and so that's true. I scabbed against myself. Yeah. Fucking get me out of here. So they diagnosed me with ADD, and they prescribed me what was at that point a brand new drug called Adderall. Oh, okay. We got some woos for Adderall. Yeah, it's a little weird to woo a prescription drug, but sure. Okay, how about this? For the rest of the show, if you hear the name of a pharmaceutical you take, you can give a little woo, all right? That'll be our show's version of me naming states and cities. Yeah, no, we got any Zoloft people in the crowd? Oh, okay, good. Oh. Good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the show. It's nice to see a smile on your face. Adderall, if you've never taken it, very powerful drug. Once was enough. The Adderall people are very excitable. Every time, I'll do it every time. They haven't eaten any of their food. They're just sucking down Diet Cokes, you know. Really intense, the Adderall people. The Xanax people are asleep. Everyone's got their thing, you know. So Adderall, very powerful drug. I describe it as kind of like Viagra for the attention span. Okay, no woos for Viagra. Well, you're all liars. We know what you're doing. I see some over 60s in the crowd. We got some adult baseball fans here. You guys are using, when you watch baseball, they have all the Viagra ads. You're like, this is really making me feel bad about my penis. I got off track. What am I talking about? Oh, attention deficit disorder. Okay. Okay, here we go. We're working it out. Thank you. You guys are great. So, Adderall, Viagra for the attention span, right? Your attention span's all floppy, can't really get it up for your homework, right? If you pop an Adderall, though, bam, 5 hours of attention, rock hard. Just one little problem, just like with Viagra, you do not always have control over what it is gonna be drawn towards. You know what I mean? Like, all right, tonight I gotta study for my math test. Nah, tonight we gotta alphabetize our Nintendo games. Arkanoid, Blaster Master, Mega Man. I didn't have a lot of games, okay? There's some gaps in the alphabet. Now look, the Adderall did help my grades get a little bit better, helped me out in school. Things got a little dicey though when I got a little bit older and I realized I could snort that shit. Yeah, oh I know, that was a problem. I was chopping it up with Pokemon cards. Yeah, snorting it off a Trapper Keeper through a fruit roll-up. Thank you, that's my favorite joke in the show too. He knows. What does a kid snort through? Not a dollar bill, a fruit roll-up. That's comedy. That's comedy. Now you might be wondering though, why can you snort Adderall, right? It's kind of weird. You can't snort most drugs the doctor gives you, you can't snort aspirin. You can't snort birth control, especially not if it's an IUD. That's a trip to the emergency room. Oh, good. A lot of you know what an IUD is. That's great. Good, because we all need to fucking know now. Yep. That was a joke about what you thought it was. Yeah. Indeed. We'll move on. So why can you snort Adderall? It's because Adderall, one of the most commonly prescribed children's drugs in America today, is nothing but pure amphetamines. And you might recognize amphetamines as what comes after meth in methamphetamines. And here's the fucked up part, they do not tell you that when they prescribe it to you. They don't even tell your parents. Shouldn't they at least be like, your son has been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. Have you seen Breaking Bad? Yeah, that's what we're gonna give them. The pills are gonna be blue, just like on the show. They really were, you know. I mean, look, I'm no prohibitionist, you know. I don't have a problem with giving a kid a drug like that if it'll help treat a difficult condition. I just want to know, why was that the first drug they tried on me? There's a lot of other drugs that could have worked, you know. Sure, I'm 8 years old, you know, you give me amphetamines, maybe I work a little bit harder. But if you give me mushrooms, maybe I realize I don't need to be working at all, man. I can just be, you know? And I think that would be a cure too, you know? But no, I was not given that opportunity. Instead, I took pure amphetamines prescribed to me by a doctor every single day for 10 years as a child in the 90s. It was the height of war on drugs. I was sitting there in health class and the health teacher was like, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Adam, you look a little distracted. Do you need to go do some lines in the bathroom? All right, well, hurry up. We got to finish the unit about how marijuana will kill you. So, hurry up. You know, some mixed messages back then, you know? I mean, look, I have friends who take Adderall today. It helps them out a lot. I'm happy they have access to it. For me, the side effects of taking it for 10 years kind of outweighed the benefits. A little bit. One of them was it made me grind my teeth in the middle of the night, and I still do that to this day, but I did not know that I was doing it until I was finally in my 30s, and I got dental insurance again. And I went to the dentist, and she was like, hey, how come your front teeth are like an inch shorter than most people's? You been brushing with a belt sander? What's going on? Oh, you're one of those Adderall kids. Okay, you need one of these. She prescribed me a mouth guard, night guard, as they call it. It's like a little piece of plastic I have to wear over my teeth to protect them from themselves every night until the day I die, because I used to take Adderall as a kid. It's a little embarrassing. There is one thing I like about it, though, which is that my girlfriend wears one too now. And so now our nightly routine is, you know, we brush our teeth, we floss, pop in the night guard, get into bed, lean over for a kiss, mwah, turn over and go to sleep, right? But you know, some nights you go in for another kiss, mwah, mwah. Then if you're really feeling it, you know, mwah, mwah, mwah. And then eventually one of us goes, hey, you know what? Oh, and then you know it's on. Oh, everybody knows what's going down when the night guard comes out. Yeah, very sexy. And you know, in your late 30s, you really benefit from having a clear cue for sex like that, you know? Like, you can't just get drunk and fuck anymore like you did when you were 21. You gotta go, honey, you see what I'm doing? Tonight's the night. Let's make it happen. Come on, it's been a month, okay? I know, it's a little bit vulnerable, right? It's those of you who've been in long-term relationships, you know that happens. You don't like to admit it, but you know, things slow down in the bedroom. You gotta work hard to keep it spicy, you know? You can go too far, though. Like, my girlfriend tried to get me one of these sex coupon books. Have you heard of these? A little booklet of, you know, tickets you can exchange for a sexual favor. Don't ever do this, all right? Terrible idea. Maybe it works once or twice, but mark my words, the day will come You go to your loved one, you're like, hey honey, I was thinking that tonight, we have the evening free, we could, and they're like, sorry, I got a headache and I got an early morning, I'm not really feeling it tonight, so maybe another time. And then you're like, but I have a coupon. Yeah, well, the store is closed. I'm not a 7-Eleven, buddy. Come back during normal business hours. Now you're having a fight, all right? So just don't do it. Another side effect of the Adderall gave me complete and total insomnia. Could not sleep a wink while I was on this shit. And as I got older, I was like, this is really bad for my health. When I was in college, I finally went to a doctor and I said, hey, the Adderall you're giving me is stopping me from sleeping. What do I do? And the doctor said, oh, no problem. I'll fix you right up. Here's your Adderall refill. And here's a prescription for another new drug called Ambien. Oh yeah, those of you who know, that was a bad month. If you're not familiar, Ambien is what's known as a hypnotic. This is a drug that's supposed to make you fall asleep by putting your brain into a dreamlike hallucinatory state. But unfortunately, that doesn't actually make you fall asleep if your body is simultaneously rolling on amphetamines. So instead of sleeping, I would just stay up and trip balls all night. It's 2 a.m., I'm just cooking my entire dorm a pancake breakfast. Bang on all their doors. Yo, dudes, you gotta come eat this right away. Mrs. Butterworth says it's an emergency. They come downstairs, they're like, Adam, you just grilled up a stack of mouse pads. What? What's going on? But I'm already passed out butt naked on the common area couch, It was a bad scene. It was a bad scene. And eventually what I started doing was in order to help me go to sleep, I started drinking. Because Ambien's not the opposite of Adderall. Alcohol is the opposite of Adderall. And things aren't great when you're chasing down your speed with Evan Williams. You know what I mean? It's a bad situation. When you're hitting up the liquor store on the way home from the pharmacy, you're in a bad spot. And by the time I was in my mid-20s, I realized that Adderall wasn't actually helping me do anything I wanted to do in life. It made me really good at doing crossword puzzles and sweeping my floor at 2 a.m. But I wasn't trying to be a night janitor with a lot of time on his hands. I wanted to do something creative with my life, and so I realized I had to quit the drug and just, figure out ways to compensate for my brain difference. I realized there's certain things I'll just never be good at. Some stuff, because of ADD, I could just never do. I finally accepted that I will never be able to read a book. I just can't make it all the way through, I love buying books. You know what I love are bookstores, right? Bookstores are magical places because they don't sell books at all. What bookstores sell is the fantasy that I might read a book. And when I go into a bookstore, my heart fills with joy. Oh, imagine me reading a book. Oh, I'd learn ever so many things. I'd carry it under my arm to the coffee shop, and everyone would say, there goes a smart little boy. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Shopkeep, ring me up. I'm changing my life today. Yeah, I'm a reader now. Infinite jest. Here we go. That's a joke for 3 people, and I take it home, sit down in my reading chair, open it up. 30 seconds into it, my phone just levitates up in front of my face. You ever do that? You're like, I've been reading for hours, and you realize you've just been staring at Instagram with blurry words in the background. How'd that happen, Now here's what books are good for. They're good for helping me go to sleep, right? My brain is like, wow, I would rather be dead than read. Unconsciousness is preferable to the English language. Thank you very much. Yeah. Now, here's what I do now. Okay, I've accepted I'll never read books. Here's what I do now. Audiobooks. 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 Audiobooks are the solution for the ADD brain, right? Because audiobooks, they take no effort whatsoever. Right? Listening to an audiobook is just like floating down the river in an inner tube, You just watch things go by. Oh, there goes some characters. What were their names? I don't know. Take a nap, wake up, it's chapter 42. You're like, I'm making great time. And then you get to the end and you're like, I finished the book. Yeah, my iPhone says 0 minutes left, so I'm learned now, yeah. No, there's other forms of media that work better for the ADD brain, you know? Like video games. I love video games so much. Video games are so good for ADD because they give me something I can never get in real life, which is a clear task that is easily accomplished. Right? Like a task in a video game is like, you gotta kill 5 goblins. And if you do, you get a cool magic sword. But life is like the worst video game ever. A task in life is like, you need to start eating better. What do I get if I do that? Oh, nothing. I mean, you might get to play the game longer. Well, I don't want to play this game longer. This game sucks. I don't get to eat what I want. I didn't get to customize my character. I'm just stuck with this. Can I start over? I can't? This fucking sucks. Return this shit to GameStop, you know? They like to do. They just have coffins there. I could just die in. That would be great. I've been playing, video games are so good for ADD. I've been playing the new Zelda. The new Zelda, literally all I did today, other than get baked and walk around, was play Zelda in my hotel room. I actually brought a dock with an HDMI cable, and then I fucking staked my hand behind the hotel TV to like, do surgery on that shit. They don't want you to do it, but I fucking did it. There's like holes in the drywall at the Westin right now. I shouldn't have said what hotel. Please don't come there later. Please do not. Do not. I will call security. It's fine. No, you can come up and play Zelda with me. It'll be great. No, this game, the new Zelda game, this is like crystallized ADD. This game is so perfect because no matter what you do, there is something to distract you. You're like, all right, I gotta go save the princess. And then a guy is like, there's a cave over there with treasure in there. Like, I gotta check out that cave. I mean, the guy said there's treasure in there. Then on the way, oh, there's a horse I want to catch, you know? Just spend all day getting nothing done and having the greatest time, you know? That's ADD, man. I've also realized there's certain activities I just shouldn't do at all because I have ADD, you know? Like, a couple years ago, I finally quit driving. Oh my God. I am so much happier now. You have no idea. It is a better way to live, okay? It truly is. First of all, I'm not a fan of any form of transportation where I can become a murderer by accident. If I kill you, I want you to know the reason why. I don't want it to be because I have ADD and poor eyesight and I got distracted by a cool billboard. You know, I'm driving along, whoa, the McWhat is back? Another mother loses her son. Not on my watch, okay? It was gonna happen eventually, so I quit driving. Now I take the bus. I take the bus around where I live in Los Angeles. And, it's kind of strange because people have weird ideas about public transportation in America, you know? Like, a lot of people think it's, like, just for poor people, you know? Like, nobody really takes it. Like, I'll tell friends, I'll show up somewhere and my friends will be like, Adam, you took the bus here? Are you okay? Well, I've never taken the bus before. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever met anyone who's ever taken the bus before. Why, I thought those were ghost buses. Ferrying spectral passengers across the river Styx. I'm like, no, they're full of normal people like you and me. They just make a little bit less money than you, Diane, but you can try it sometime. It costs $2, takes you where you need to go. Then they say something really weird. They say, well, Adam, aren't you a little worried that it's dangerous to ride the bus? Ooh. I'm like, no, absolutely not. Because, lest you forget, tens of thousands of people are brutally killed behind the wheels of their own cars every single year. It's one of the most common causes of death in America. No one is dying on the bus. It's a statistic.